That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 120 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and sacrificial. But before we do, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed this week. And David, I have a story for you. This is right up Camp Strange alley. As a man with chainsaw chases McDonald's employee, steals food and drink. What, David? Did you like that one?
I also clicked on that one.
Like I said, it's very Camp Strangey.
Yeah, well, I got excited because it said Portland. I was like, hey, that's my old home, but it's in Maine.
I was gonna say, Portland, Maine. You're right. Yeah. So this guy apparently entered the establishment with a chainsaw, and he's a 26-year-old man. Was it Alice Sweet?
Not so sweet.
Ooh, I like that name though. It sounds pretty good. He entered the McDonald's with a chainsaw and went behind the counter where employees were actively preparing food. Sweet then reportedly read the chainsaw intermediately before stealing a drink and some food. Oh, sorry, intermittently. I used the wrong word.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's okay. We're dumb. So, apparently when the manager confronted him, why would you confront that man and be like, everybody get out? Yeah, everybody get out.
That's why you can lock the doors from the outside.
I don't know why, but I'm so much more scared of a guy with a chainsaw than a gun. If somebody's like, you jump behind the counter and you brandished a gun and then stole like a cheeseburger and like a drink, I'd be like, okay, well, at least he had a gun. If somebody has a chainsaw, I am so scared.
I would much rather get shot with a bullet than cut with a chainsaw.
Yeah, because like there's a chance that like, chainsaws are slower. You have a chance to get away. Like somebody has a gun, they have some distance on you. But like if somebody with a chainsaw catches up to you, it's gonna be a big mess.
I mean, unless that chainsaw's got a Hemi, then you won't even feel it.
Cut right through you. Cut right through the Rocky Mountains. A Hemi. Anyway, but speaking of Hemi, he then apparently went outside. Oh, that's when the manager confronted him in the parking lot, and then the suspect began chasing the manager with the chainsaw, which is a worse nightmare situation. Yeah. And then he also apparently damaged two vehicles that were at the restaurant. So somebody was just at McDonald's, and they're like, oh, if my night wasn't bad enough that I fucking had to come to McDonald's, now a guy with the chainsaw is fucking up my Hemi.
Oh boy, keep your chain off my Hemi. That's what I always say.
Can we get that bumper sticker?
Yeah.
Keep your chain off my Hemi. I love it. But you know what's great? And then cops showed up and probably pulled some guns on him.
You'd hope so. They also brought chainsaws.
Wow, what a McDonald's. I love Portland, Maine. It's great. It's a fun time in Portland, Maine. Chainsaw fight in McDonald's parking lot. There must have been a Walmart nearby. There had to have been. But, so he got arrested, which is good. But in his mugshot, he's wearing a mask that's just pulled down to his chin. So, like, at least he's, like, wearing a mask.
Oh, yeah.
If he's going to terrorize the McDonald's.
Yeah, well, also, the police probably put one on him if he didn't, though. And they have to pull it down for the mugshot.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Are they allowed to just, like, put a mask on someone? I guess you are.
Yeah. If anybody can put a mask on someone, it's the police.
Well, I just don't want to get my fingers near his mouth.
That's true.
That boy's hungry enough to rev a chainsaw on a McDonald's. I don't want to figure out what he's going to do if I get my little breakfast links near his face.
But he might also have a belly full of McRib.
Oh, God. I saw somebody on Reddit post a picture of the McRib, and it was like literally a white. I described this to Katie. It looks like one of those ancient Chinese like slippers or sandals that's just like a wood plank, and it has like you know exactly what I'm talking about?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and it has like the two little things like jutting out of the bottom and like a strap over the top. It looked like that, but it was like pure white, and they were like in stacks of like look like poker chips, or like it was crazy looking. And then the top comment was, I ate TV dinner Salisbury steak. You can't scare me. And I was like, it's the same meat. I mean, we all ate it in elementary school, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to call you out. I feel like those sandals are Japanese, not Chinese.
I think you're right.
Because I think of like samurais that had them.
Yeah, but like they're like neighbors, so like they probably were like, cool sandals. We're gonna start making some sandals like that, right?
It only took one boat to crash because you know those things float. They just floated right up the shore.
There's one guy who just happened to be on the beach at the right time.
His
And he
name
just
is now Phil Knight.
His his name's now Sonoku. What's that sandal brand? Is that a sandal brand?
Isn't a Sudoku like that math puzzle?
That's Sudoku. We are not cultured by any means, but we do know that the sandals were in Asia, everybody. So go buy yourself some sandals. I don't know. This
is a sandal podcast now.
This is not a cultural divide. This is a time divide because nobody in Japan or China wears those sandals anymore. So if they wore them now, I would be able to be like, oh yeah, the Japanese wear those. But it's just so long ago.
They're like more exciting clogs.
Exactly. They're fun.
Yeah.
I feel like you just...
What's your number one sandal though? This is now a sandal podcast. Out of all the types of sandals, what's the right at the top?
Ooh, I have a very controversial. I would say Crocs.
I don't know if
is that a sandal?
I don't think that qualifies. No hybrids are allowed.
Really?
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog.
I don't know. Let's see. That's the age-old question where it's like, what's the definition of a sandal? A shoe that allows air to breathe around it? I don't really know. You know?
No.
What is it? Does it have to be like it can go in water?
What? No, because they got water shoes.
Are those sandals?
No.
What's a sandal?
I think it's when 90% of your foot's showing.
Sandal.
Open-toed, open-heeled.
Oh, the definition is a resort in Jamaica. So we were both pretty wrong.
Yeah, we were way off.
Wait, sandal definition. A light shoe with either an openwork upper or straps attaching the sole to the foot. What?
That's not a Croc.
I guess you're kind of right. A light shoe with either an openwork upper. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, well, this isn't the sandal. The sandal podcast is now over. Okay.
Oh man.
And let's move on to our next
story. But it's winter time. Perfect.
Well, I'm
time
wrong,
to talk
so
about
we have to move on now.
All right, I got a new story. It's my only one because the other one was ripped out of my cold dead fingers. Wearing someone else's face, hyper-realistic masks go on sale in Japan. So a company is making
Sandal mask.
They're making insanely detailed face masks that look like, you know, you'd hope your face, but I mean, it's limitless. You know, you could be whoever you want. You could finally be Michael Jordan.
Wait, so you send in a picture and they make the mask, or is it only celebrities like Richard Nixon?
It doesn't specify who has access to this. I think it's just a company that you can They are $950 though. So
this is probably the same company that I don't know if you recall this, when Bryan Cranston went to Comic-Con dressed as Walter White with that big fucking head.
Yeah.
He had a big Walter White head on. That was like, it's the mask that it looks like it's like when they take it off that like the person's actually breathing for the first time that day. It's like a very like sticky to your face, like tuck it underneath your shirt collar type mask. And you know what? And then he revealed that he was like walking around Comic-Con all day and everyone's like, oh, cool Walter White costume. And then he took it off on stage and everyone's like, wow.
You think he just went to the food court and just like fucking sat down and just took a breath and ate like a food court hot dog and some nachos and was this is what it used to be.
I don't know. I kind of wonder about that with most celebrities. Like, how many times of I can't say that word, anonymity do they get? Like in a year, you know, like do they often like get to go to places and eat and not get bothered? Like, what's the percentage of meals they're allowed to eat without getting bothered?
Yeah, it's not many.
No, I feel like, I mean, maybe in LA because people don't really bother you as much because like you see celebrities and stuff like that. But like if they go anywhere else, they're getting hounded most likely.
Yeah.
Because
that's why you got to go to somewhere. Yeah, you got to go somewhere really small where no one knows who the hell you are.
Portland, Maine.
McDonald's chainsaw.
Chainsaw. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad and no one buying a Halloween mask for $1,000 is never a bad investment.
It really is. I mean, you're set for life for a good Halloween costume until that one year the person dies and then it's not tasteful.
Ooh, I'm gonna go. You know what costume always works every year? Ugandan Knuckles. Oh. Ugandan Knuckles is still funny. Do you know the way?
It's
everybody.
Still funny.
People still love that. I saw people get tattoos of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty bad tattoos. That's got to be one of them.
Well, you're not talking about The Last Meal with Rick from Rick and Morty, the Joker, Patrick Star, Sheldon. We love that one. That's a good tattoo.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Hey, everybody listening, do your best. We
want to hear it. We want for one moment in the world for everybody to be doing their best.
Oh, and by the way, and I was going to say, next, do your best. Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Dude, okay, little sidebar before I get to my next story. My old roommate was moving out. I moved out before my former roommate moved out of the apartment, but he just moved out recently, and he bumped into the neighbors downstairs who we have never talked to our entire, 4 years we've lived there. And they came up to him and they said, hey, and he goes, oh, yeah. And they go, you moving out? And he goes, yeah, I'm moving out. And they go, oh, okay, well, man, it was great having you as neighbors. We never talked to them. They're kind of like a younger couple.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, thank you guys. And they go, yeah, you guys are hilarious with the Peter thing. And he goes, what? He goes, what? And they go, oh, we just heard you guys a lot of the time. The Peter thing. And he goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he goes, oh my God, hey, Peter. And they go, yeah, that's it. We can hear you guys doing a Peter all the time. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. They're like, no, we loved it. And they go, another thing that just made us bust up, it would just be really quiet. And all of a sudden we would hear, fuck! And then somebody drop something or it would just we would just scream fuck apparently, and that
was probably Kyle.
They loved it. Yeah, I mean I carried the torch a little bit on that one, but probably mostly our former roommate Kyle. He was known for that. Anyway, next story. Man who died of constipation 1,000 years ago ate grasshoppers for months. Now, David, I didn't know that you were, 1, born 1,000 years ago, 2, dead.
Yeah. I decided to die to make this podcast a little spookier.
So a man who lived in the lower Pecos Canyonlands of Texas sometime between 1,000 and 1,400 years ago may have died from a horrible case of constipation, according to a study of his mummified remains.
Bursting at the seams.
So listen to this. So it says, and during the painful months just prior to his death, he ate mainly grasshoppers, a study researcher found. So here's my favorite part. I just love the fact that after he died, I got someone digging around in my asshole to try to figure out what was going on in there. But
elbows deep.
They're like, how did he eat this many fucking Lego heads? I don't get it. Did he order them by the tons?
This one's he's got a Boba Fett from 1998. That's got to be
all
worth something.
Different Lego heads. How are they all different? This one still has the hat on it. I don't get this.
It's a little Robin Hood.
So it says apparently Chagas disease, which is caused by a parasite called whatever, had blocked up the man's gastrointestinal system. The blockage caused his colon to swell about 6 times its normal size. A condition called megacolon.
Oh, that's a good name. That's getting creative.
So it says the man was unable to digest foods properly and gradually became malnourished, and scientists found, and the condition would have made it difficult for the man to walk or even eat on his own. And the researchers think that in the last 2 or 3 months, what
was his name? Uncle Fatty?
Yes. They found him dead with a American's Ray-Bans on his head. We know those little fat little Taiwanese monkeys, Thailand monkeys love to steal the Ray-Bans off the fat American's head. They love it. But like I was saying, the researchers think that in the last 2 or 3 months of his life, either family or members of his community helped the man eat by feeding him grasshoppers whose legs had been removed. Whoa! They plucked the legs off these little grasshoppers?
That make it slide down easier.
I can just picture this man laying on the ground with his mega colon hanging out his ass, and he's just like, I don't like the legs. Pluck the legs off. Pluck the legs. I don't like them.
I'm allergic to the legs. It doesn't make any sense. No, trust me, I'm allergic to them.
He's like the guy at the restaurant. He's like, oh, can I not get any lima beans in my salad? I'm allergic. He's like, he just doesn't like lima beans. He's a fucking liar.
Yeah. It's always a good
lie. I gave him extra lima beans, and guess what? He died of megacolon. It's not fun when someone dies of megacolon in Outback Steakhouse.
It ruins everybody's birthday parties that they're having there.
That's what happens if you. Rumor has it that's what happens if you eat a whole bloomin' onion. You die of megacolon.
Oh man, those are good.
I do it. Apparently, those are like those are the most caloric food item that you can eat, apparently, besides like maybe a chicken pot pie is like, I think that's like the worst thing you could eat, but like a bloomin' onion, onion.
Oreos. Aren't Oreos just like horrifically bad for you?
Oh, I think 2 Oreos is like 210 calories, and it fucked me up because I love Oreos.
Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't love Oreos?
I see. I'm the Christmas JoJo fan, the peppermint JoJos from Trader Joe's. They're like the fake Oreos that they make at Trader Joe's, but they make ones for the holidays that have like shards of candy cane in them.
Oh.
Those ones are pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that's probably pretty good. I like a little bit, but you can't eat those year round. Those are
no, that's why you got to stock up.
Yeah. Holy shit. I think it says at Chili's was ranked worst appetizer in America by Men's Health magazine 2008 for its unusually high totals of calories and fat. 2,710 calories.
Whew.
Oh,
well, I mean, it's a good thing you're sharing that with your softball team.
Yeah. I love that image. Wait, is Bloomin' Onion at Chili's or Outback?
I'm sure Chili's
Awesome Blossom is Chili's.
Yeah,
which is the same fucking thing.
Fuckers.
They just dunk a whole onion. They cut it up. They throw that little apple core over it, and then it splits open, and they dip it in whatever and spices, and then they throw it in a deep fryer.
They dunk it in the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. They're good, I have to say, especially that sauce they give you.
Ooh, don't get me started on that sauce.
I wonder how many more calories that sauce adds.
Could I get the blooming onion? Hold the onion. I just want that sauce.
Sauce.
1 sauce and 2 spoons for me and the lady.
Hi. Hi, doctor. I went to Chili's and I rubbed sauce all over my. Oh, I'm sorry. Sauce all over my megacolon, and it got bigger. Why does this happen?
It's stinging now.
I thought the sauce was supposed to help. It always helps.
The cooling sauce.
When I fight my wife and I go to Chili's after, it always helps. The sauce. Anyway, I think we're done.
I went and found one quick news story. I'm only going to read the headline. China flamethrower drone burns wasp nests.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's the one thing that is allowed to burn a wasp nest. I wouldn't recommend any other method besides using a drone a drone that shoots flames.
Yeah, those are cool.
We
need more of those.
And cool. And guess what? The Hornets never see it coming.
Honey, what's that sound?
Don't worry about it. Eat your fucking sauce.
Eat your butt sauce.
Are these wasps eating butt sauce?
Yeah, I guess they don't make the honey, do they? They just make the pain.
Wasps don't make the honey. They make the pain. It's true.
Put on a shirt.
Put on a shirt. Let's get into these stories. I think you guys are caught up on any of the news and a little bit more. So, now, David, I know sometimes I end up picking a story that people say, hey, that's not strange. That's not even creepy. That's just a story about hobos.
That's just boring.
And that is why today I wanted to take us back to our roots. I wanted to go back to the foundation of this podcast. The foundation of scary stories everywhere, really. That's right. I'm talking about ghosts. Sousy ghosts. So today, I want to bring us back to the good old days of haunted houses and apparitions as we take a trip over to Kentucky, home of the South, to tell you the history and the haunts of the Waverley Hills Sanatorium. Sanatorium.
Sanitarium?
No, sanatorium.
Sanatorium. Is it where all the Santas go to hide?
Practice sanatorium. That worked, actually. I didn't think that was gonna work.
I got goosebumps. Can you do it? Can you do more? That's the one thing I miss the most about being in close proximity to you is anytime you're in a car and a song is on, you sing all of it.
I feel like this is actually a problem, and you have not brought this up until we're on the podcast. You don't like that? Why are you okay? You guys, this is fucking hard now because I just learned about that. Everybody, this has been the way he said that means this has been discussed in our friend group when I was not there.
I don't know if that's true.
I feel it's true. Anyway, so if you guys are wondering what a sanatorium was, I could tell you that it's an establishment for the medical treatment of people who are convalescing or have a chronic illness. See, I thought it was just for crazy people.
That's an offensive thing to say.
No, because when you hear sanatorium, you think of like sanity, and you're like, oh, insane. They're in a sanatorium. They're insane, you know? And I just thought it was like a mental institution or something like that, or an asylum.
Again, the first thing I think of is Santas.
David, this is not about Santas.
Okay. I'll listen.
We all make fun of you because you always just bring up Santa every time we hang out. So shut up, dude.
I just don't think you guys care enough about Christmas.
Yeah, we already know about your peppermint JoJo fascination.
That's what I think.
You played all your cards already. Anyway, so let's get into it. So, like I said, the Waverley Hills Sanatorium. So the land that the now abandoned sanatorium rests on was purchased by Major Thomas H. Hayes, Kentucky state senator and Civil War veteran. Ooh, but he was on the Confederate side and he lost.
Ooh, that's always a rough one. I don't get why people are so fucking proud of that shit. They lost the war. What was it, like a fucking not even 4 years?
You don't see me wearing my intramural team's jersey anymore. We came in last fucking place.
Wear that with pride.
So, the Ballers?
The Chupacabras, man.
Oh, that's cool. That's very Camp Strange.
Only won one game, and it was by forfeit.
Then we went and sucked off goats after. So,
oh, I see. Okay.
You see what I did there?
Got a little lost.
So, like I said, it was purchased by Major Thomas Hayes in 1883, where he looked to build the new Hayes family home. After building his new home, he realized that the schools his children attended were much too far to commute to. So instead, he built a one-room schoolhouse on the land and hired a teacher by the name of Lizzie Lee Harris. Actually, the school was 4 miles away, which doesn't seem like a lot, but in 1883... you had to walk in those fucking sandals. So
Yeah.
it wasn't easy. It splintered up.
Well, this is before walking was invented. You could only dead sprint anywhere.
Oh, I was gonna say you could only dog scoot across. You know, like when dogs get an itchy asshole.
Yeah.
Thomas H. Hayes just dog scooting 4 miles to the That's why everybody bitches about, like, do you know what I had to do to get to school? Like, let me see that swollen colon, as they like. What I call it, megacolon. God, swollen colon is better.
Yeah, you inflate that megacolon and you can bounce on it like one of those inflatable balls with the handle.
Oh, or the guy with like a big like ball sack in like a third world country where like he just like wears a skirt and that's a beanbag chair.
It's more of a drape. It's kind of drapes it.
Call it what you will. It's nice. And it stinks too. So Harris being Harris the teacher, Lizzie Lee Harris, being an academic and teacher, decided to give the modest schoolhouse a new place and her new place of work a new name. And since Harris was such a fan of the long-running novels, the Waverley series by Sir Walter Scott, who famously wrote Lady of the Lake, she decided to name it the Waverley School. So that's where it gets its name from. This is just a little background history. Not very spooky, but you got to know where the sanatorium gets its name. See, because Thomas Hayes heard of the new building, new branding of the school, and liked the name so much for its peaceful-sounding name, he decided to name the rest of the property Waverley Hill. And although Thomas Hayes built a beautiful home and schoolhouse on a peacefully sounding piece of land, that would be the last time that anyone referred to the land as peaceful. So, in the early 1900s, Jefferson County, Kentucky, was severely stricken with an outbreak of tuberculosis. There we go, David.
TB, baby.
We love TB. So this whole hospital basically was only built because of TB. And we all know that TB is also called, is it wasting disease, I believe?
I think so.
It's what people thought back in the day was vampirism. They thought that when people had TB, they would get really skinny and gaunt and eventually like die.
Just
and
wither.
People thought that they were like cursed by vampires and stuff like that. So they would like dig up dead people who died of TB earlier and then like put bricks in their mouth and then like cut off their heads or stick stakes through their heart and just like basically defile corpses because they thought that they were cursing them from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
But that was not the case, obviously. So there were so many tuberculosis cases in Louisville. That's right. Louisville. At the time, because of the wetlands along the Ohio River, which were perfect for the tuberculosis bacteria. And to be completely honest, I didn't know tuberculosis was a bacteria.
I thought it was a little gremlin that lived inside your belly.
I thought it was the little gremlin that lived under the toenail in the Tough Actin' Tinactin commercial.
Little slimy boy.
Wait, what was? That's not Tough Actin' Tinactin. You're thinking of Mucinex, fat guy with the fedora.
Oh. Love that guy too.
Clearly, like, burns his wife with cigarettes. It's, like, awful, right?
Cigars.
That guy.
Cheap cigars.
He only smokes cigars. Hey, who took my cigars? Anyway, so the newly formed Tuberculosis Board of Louisville, was in dire need of grounds which they could hold, where they could hold all their patients, and they eventually set their sights on the Waverly Hills, which Thomas Hayes eventually decided to sell to them because I think his land was like the only place that actually like fit all of the qualifications of like it had running water, enough land, some housing, and whatever else they needed for this hospital. So he's like, yeah, I'm old, my kids are grown, I'll sell the land to you. So the TB Board of Louisville got to work to try to contain the disease by building a 2-story wooden sanatorium that could hold about 40 people suffering from early cases of TB. But as the months went on, more severe cases rolled in, resorting in tents to being set up on the grounds until a bigger sanatorium could be constructed. So like the people who are really suffering from TB, they're like, throw them in a fucking tent. And I know everybody's picturing like modern day tents, but like a tent back then was probably just like a York peppermint patty wrapper over a stick.
Yeah.
Why are you so mad that I just came up with that? I didn't even write that down, dude. That's just what.
That's
tents
straight off the
were.
top. That's straight off the top.
Yo, you like Yorks? You freeze them or you put them in a microwave?
I like to listen real close when my neighbor bites into them so I can hear it go. Tss.
Do they do that?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
They hiss?
Yeah, it makes a little like sound. That last part was a joke, but I remember in my childhood, my sister would always be like, "Oh, like listen," and I'd get really close, and she would like bite it, and it would like make like a tss sound.
Oh, what my thing about that was? Remember the I mean they still have them, but the green lifesavers, and you put them in your mouth, and you go in the bathroom and look in the mirror, and you bite them, and then it flashes a little bit of green. Am I the only one?
Oh, okay. In my mind, I was thinking of like the gummies.
No, they're not green lifesavers. The packaging is green, but they're little white lifesavers, and you suck them. They always have them in like.
You what now? Come again?
You suck them. You gotta suck it. Anyway, we'll move on. But anytime you eat one, you get like a sugar film over your teeth, and you can just feel the cavities forming. But they're delicious.
It's a good way to ruin your day.
Yeah. So years passed as more patients rolled into the ever-expanding and ever-needing of repairs wooden sanatorium and field tents until the board decided that the solution was in the form of a 5-story, 400-plus patient hospital that could house all the patients. And in 1926, after 2 years of building the structure, it was finally complete. So like I said, the wood structure just kept getting a bunch of like holes in it and stuff like that, and so they're like, we just need to build something that's like a little bit better, which they dropped a shit ton of money, built a 5-story hospital.
Lovely.
So initial treatment for, tuberculosis, like we know that it's obviously a bacterial disease now. I knew that.
Yeah, we were joking earlier. We knew that. We're men of science.
It's hard to know stuff about a disease that's been mostly eradicated. But
what a good word.
Thank you. I didn't make it up. So initial treatment, now we're going to learn about how they treated it. And initial treatment for tuberculosis included, these are not like great remedies, but it's like all they knew at the time, It's just like, we'll try it and it kind of worked, so let's just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It was fresh air daily. So just like fresh air.
You mean I got to leave the coal mine?
I've gotten so used to the shadows, or lack thereof. And the coal, it tastes good. You bite it, and it flashes a little bit of green.
It's just darkness.
A diet high in ascorbic acid.
What's that come from?
Fuck me. Ascorbic acid. I'm gonna guess lemons.
Scorpions.
It's ascorbic acid is a natural water soluble vitamin. It's vitamin C. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I knew that.
Me too.
Vitamin A, which are you gonna make me look up what foods have vitamin A in them now? Vitamin A, foods. Jeez, we are just not very smart. Oh, look, no foods have it. No. Liver, fish, and fortified cereals. Carrots, broccoli, cantaloupe, and squash. There you go, guys.
We just hope you guys end this podcast learning something new every time.
They just probably ate a bunch of cantaloupes and lemons. And he's like, my tongue hurts, Pa. And he's like, shut up and fucking get some fresh air, motherfucker. Anyway, and also protein, just, you guys know protein. You've heard of it. I don't have to explain it. And, of course, bed rest. So, eat food and go sit in a bed.
You're sleeping outside.
Outside, exactly. The tents may have helped. I don't know.
Yeah.
So by 1938, tuberculosis was the leading cause of death in Kentucky, and the state had the highest death rate in the nation, partly because of the lack of facilities, a lack of consistent statewide funding for treatment, and a lack of long-term care options. On average, 2,000 people died from the disease each year. And as years passed, but in 1943, after the introduction of streptomycin, an antibiotic medication used to treat TB, the number of patients went down until the hospital was empty and eventually abandoned, which is good. That's the kind of abandoned building that I stand behind.
So you can rate it for all of its pain pills.
They don't have pain pills. They have rooms full of cantaloupe, lemons, protein, and fresh air.
Yo, cantaloupe's good, though.
Oh, cantaloupe's great. The
I love
honeydew's awful.
That's the best thing about staying at a hotel is you get the cantaloupe.
I can't wait until like the apocalypse happened and some guy is like, oh my God. And he's like wandering through the woods and he finally finds this sanatorium and he goes inside looking for food. And there's just his pantry and he finally like cracks it after like 5 days of trying to get in. And then he gets in and it's just walls and walls of jars of fresh air.
I thought you were going to go with the cantaloupe. And I was going to say, but they all have a hole drilled in them.
Why are these cantaloupes so warm and moist?
They're about body temperature. It's strange. Body temperature and a little bit of friction. It's strange.
Why do all these cantaloupes have lipstick on them? Right where the hole is, they got a bunch of lipstick around them. I tell you.
And that wasn't someone stapled rubber gloves full of warm water to it.
They smell funky. Anyway, they smell like that tree that sometimes you come across in the wintertime. You know that one tree? You know, you walk by that tree. Are you talking
about the one that you have outside your place that you
yes.
openly call the cum tree?
It's called the cum tree. You're right. It was at my old place. I don't live near the cum tree anymore. But guess what? They got a cum tree on the Paramount lot, and I was walking by, and some guy I worked with goes, oh my God, the cum tree. I go, you call it the cum tree too? And then we shared a nice cantaloupe over a nice TB transition, swap.
Yeah, just sitting under the tree branches.
Just sharing TB. So it is estimated that over 8,000 people died within the walls of the Waverley Hills Sanatorium. But it is also estimated that not all who died there decided to leave.
Ooh.
And some say that something still haunts the old building and the hill it rests upon. So let's get into what lies behind the peeling walls besides old cantaloupe. So in 1932, a nurse was working up on the 5th floor of the hospital in room 502. Hospital staff says that she was doing her usual rounds, just like she always did, and when all of a sudden they heard a loud crash. When hospital staff ran over to find the cause of the noise, they found the young nurse dead,
Ooh.
5 stories down on the pavement. Her coworkers were shocked at the sight and the motive, since the young nurse seemed perfectly sound of mind and not particularly depressed by any means, while other staff knew that foul play could have been a factor due to the history of the room. You see, in room 502, it was notorious with the more senior hospital staff due to an incident that occurred in the room just a few years before. In 1928, a 29-year-old nurse working at the hospital was doing her rounds on the 5th floor, particularly in room 502. After hours of not hearing from the young woman, her coworkers went to go check on her. What they found was horrific and devastating, as the 29-year-old pregnant nurse was found hanging from a light fixture in the ceiling. Her coworkers believed that due to the fact that she was unmarried and about to give birth, she became overcome with depression and decided to end her own life. And as for the case of the woman who fell from the 5th floor to her death, some believe that either she was coaxed into jumping by the ghost of the nurse that still is said to haunt the room, or that maybe even she was pushed to her death out the window of room 502. So the interesting thing is, you can maybe call phooey on some of these other things I'm going to talk about, but both of those were proven deaths.
Yeah, they're documented.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And they're like regardless of whether you want to believe in ghosts or not, that shit did happen at that hospital in room 502. And a lot of people, will get into it, but you can do tours at the sanatorium still. You could pay money to do long tours, and a lot of people one of the main stops is room 502 because of the devastation that took place there, which is really creepy to think that somebody was hanging in that room that you were just standing in,
I always think about that. Whenever I'm renting a place that's older, I'm I wonder if anybody's fucking died here. There's no way to look,
my
right?
God, I didn't bring it up. I've been watching this fucking guy on YouTube. His channel's called Ordinary Things, and he has these 15-minute long videos where he breaks down things like shopping malls or Bitcoin or the fall of Quibi and stuff like that. And he talked about Quibi, and there was a show on Quibi called Murder House Flip or something like that. I never watched it, but he brought it up. It's literally houses where people were murdered in, and they have renovators go in there and make them look nice for people that had just bought the house. And they show a clip, and they're standing in the bathroom, and they go, "This is the bathtub where the husband chopped off his wife." And I'm like, yo, this is not a real show.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's interesting to go, oh my God, I'm standing in the room where somebody died, or whoa, somebody died on in that corner over there. But it's different to fucking take a shower in that bathtub every single morning, or a bath in a tub where somebody was chopped up into little pieces. Are you kidding me?
You'd hope that the tub itself was replaced.
You know what? From instances that I've heard of personally, when stuff goes down in a house, they usually just send cleaners there to clean it. They don't change anything. Usually the people who own the house have to change it, but they usually just leave it the same. So the tub is probably the same exact tub.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be the first thing I would put on the list of remodeling.
God damn, I just burned the house down. There's that's just a haunted house now. You don't want to be in there.
It's pretty profitable when it come around October.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah,
don't gotta pay nobody.
Come take a bath in my tub, my haunted tub. Come take a bath.
There's only one camera, okay? That's it.
Oh, come on, you got sauce all over you. Come take a bath. You're being weird. I can clean you good. Anyway, so another key attraction of the sanatorium is the 485-foot body tunnel that was used to keep the sick patients from seeing the newly dead patients as they were transferred to the morgue in the basement.
Tunnels are sick. I want my own tunnel.
Dude, this is more like I'm not going to lie, this is more like a laundry chute. But I do agree.
Hearing them just bouncing off the walls all the way down.
The guy at the bottom of the shaft's the body just falls into a giant bin of soiled towels. He's like, whew, I never get used to that. I never get used to the body falling down.
Oh, I put the wrong basket there. God damn it. I gotta get rid
Jim,
of the towels.
why didn't you put the basket back? Now we gotta clean up all this spaghetti mess on the floor. He ate a bunch of spaghetti before he died. Anyway,
yeah, he had a mega hole, and that boy did that burst about halfway down the chute.
Oh, everybody see, the thing is you can see the mega colon, but you can't see all the spaghetti packed behind it. That's what always surprises you, I tell you. It's like what's that show called? Storage Wars?
Yeah.
Where you can see the mega colon, you bid on it, but then you get in and you find out it's just full of spaghetti and you don't want no more.
But there is a Lamborghini tucked away behind that.
I was about to say, sometimes you find a gold ring back there. Or a bunch of crickets. So the tunnel is a deep pitch black shaft leading down to the basement where bodies were once lowered down on a medical cart or a mechanical cart. So they did have a pulley system where they put the body on there and just slowly pull it down. I wish that they would just I don't wish, but like that the body's just kind of like, oh, drop him in the shaft. And he's like, ooh, like, come on, have fun with your job a little bit.
Yeah, have a little fun. Throw that
me in the
dead
trash.
body down there.
As Frank Reynolds says, throw me in the trash.
Exactly.
So today people have said that they can hear screams and banging echoes from deep within the shaft leading down to the morgue. So you can peek your head into the shaft, which is obviously another horrific thing to think about.
Can you shout into the shaft?
Yeah, but if you shout, it goes, hey, and then it repeats.
Is there an extra fee if you bring your own body to throw into the shaft?
Now, I see you guys didn't provide any of the bodies for this open, horrible death shaft. Would you be opposed to me throwing something down there myself? Sir, who is that? Don't you worry. I paid good money for this tour. You fucking mind your own business.
It's my Uncle Bernie.
Either Bert goes down the shaft or one of these tour guides go down the shaft. I'm making executive decisions today. So many guests that visit the grounds also claim to see numerous dark figures of doctors and nurses roaming the halls in their white coats and pressed outfits, looking for their sick patients and gazing out the window before disappearing behind corners and vanishing. Which is nothing scarier than a doctor ghost. Every movie where there's a doctor ghost, they're like, why is there a doctor ghost? They're like, oh, he performed sick experiments on all of his mental patients. And you're like, oh, was there any doctors that worked at mental hospitals who weren't performing horrible, sick experiments? They're like, no, that's why they became doctors.
Exactly.
It's like 7 years of medical school that will do that to you. Now you just want to torture people.
I recently just rewatched.
He's giving a guy a lobotomy. He's like, are you going to pay my loans?
We recently watched House of a Thousand Corpses.
Dude, you made Riley watch that?
Yeah, I finally convinced her to watch it.
Dude, that movie is next level.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
That movie's
it's
like
so
lived
corny.
In. I still believe those actors are not actual actors.
Yeah, and they're actually
except for Rainn Wilson.
People. Yeah. Well,
except for Dwight.
What I realized is there's the young couples, the two young couples, the two guys, two girls that go into the house, and one of them is played by Rainn Wilson, who is Dwight from The Office, and the other one is Chris Hardwick.
What?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
I'm not even kidding. It's a young Chris Hardwick.
What?
Yeah, my mind was blown because I guess it'd been a few years since I've watched it, and it started. I'm like, holy shit, I had no idea.
I literally still don't believe you. That's insane. I'm going to rewatch that. I have to.
Yeah.
But like the casting for that, I feel like they just went to like a county fair and they're like, you, and you. Hurry. Do you guys like clown makeup? Here, have a machete. Like, it's horrible. It's like, I mean, it's great, but it's horrible. It's one of the most disturbing movies you can watch. It's just like fucked up.
I was always sad that Sid Haig, the guy who plays the clown, I was always bummed he wasn't in more stuff.
What's his name?
Captain Flacco
Spaulding.
Jocko?
Spaulding?
Yeah, Captain Spaulding.
Yeah. Something like that, right? Would you say Captain what?
Jocko Flacco.
Oh, he'd be faster than Sid. Well, I tell you. But what about him? Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, he passed away like a year or two ago. Pretty sad.
I saw that. He looked very skinny towards the end. I was like, so sad. He always showed up at those like horror Comic-Cons.
Yeah. Oh, another big actor was what's his name? Like Goggins?
Kenny Loggins.
Not Kenny Loggins. The guy
Walter Goggins?
Yeah, he's one of the cops.
Forehead extraordinaire?
Yeah, that guy. I love that guy. I can never remember his goddamn name, but
I saw him walking on the lot because they filmed a unicorn on Paramount.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a show. It's a show
They were filming a unicorn?
No. That's the name of the show that he stars in.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes he's like kind enough to like go stand out like in the like on the lot in the field, and he stands in there. Everybody parks their cars in front of him, and they project a movie on his forehead.
Come on, man.
You knew it was coming. No one's safe.
I thought you were
not even Walter.
I thought you were gonna make a joke that all the doorways had a huge crack right in the middle because every time you walk through a door.
No. Anyway, is it Walter? Walter Goggins. Anyway.
Yeah. No, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. I like him. So another common occurrence seen deep within the halls of the abandoned building. Oh, these are my favorite. Are doppelgangers.
Oh, I love those. We've talked about those before, I think.
I think we have. See, doppelgangers, also known as double walkers, are a type of spirit that can mimic the appearance, voice, and mannerisms of anyone or anything it encounters. Many people have claimed to have turned corners within the halls only to be confronted by the exact image of themselves standing at the other end.
And now I know why everybody's always so startled when I walk into a room.
Why?
The trash bag.
His leg fucking stinks. Get him out of here.
That's the one thing. The ghosts just they just couldn't get the smell right. That's how I knew it wasn't me.
Well, you know what the horrifying thing is when they see you walk around the corner at the end of the hall with the trash bag on your leg, they're not scared of you. They're scared that there's another trash bag legged man standing behind them. And it stinks. And it is said that the figure just stands and stares at the victims like a mirror, and the only difference is that the doppelganger is said to have dark, hollow pits where the eyes should be.
All right. Yeah, before you finish that sentence, I was very confused when you said dark, hollow pits.
They have like armpits that are just like
endless, just a void.
I've lost my Old Spice in there numerous times.
I'm spending a fortune on this Old Spice. This Old Spice is really burning a hole in my ghost dollars.
My ghost wallet. So another legend within Waverly is of the Creeper. Now, David.
Like that.
You've been to Waverly, I see.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the Creeper.
I'm the Creeper, baby.
I'm the Creeper, baby.
Come take a bath in my murder house. Why are you being weird? So, the Creeper is a dark, terrifying entity that quickly crawls along the floors of the walls of the Waverly Hills. Now, I know that's not you. You ain't that quick with that leg.
Sounds like a stalker from The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah. Maybe if you ditched the leg, you'd be that quick.
Yeah.
Why don't you just really lop it off?
Sentimental stuff.
Yeah. Maybe one day you should accidentally get it caught in a wood chipper and just see what happens in the future. Maybe your life would be a little bit better.
And, you know, what's one thing I love the most? What's one of the things that's my favorite thing in the world?
Peanut butter.
Well, that goes close, but dogs. And,
oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't go outside with at least 4 or 5 dogs breaking down their doors just to come get a sniff of that leg. They can't get enough of that leg.
The dogs go, you smell that? That smells like sauce. That boy got sauce in that bag.
Oh, I mean, the dogs just come running.
Oh, no, I just realized that I didn't plug in my charger in the computer. Can you talk about your leg for a second until I plug in my computer?
I was almost hoping that something like this is going to happen so we could pause the podcast because I've got a sweatshirt on right now and I'm hot. And, this is not the content you guys want to hear about. So let's talk more about this leg. This leg, in case you're a new listener, it just stinks. And the only way I could really get around fixing this problem is just to slap a big ol' garbage bag on over it. And, if we made any money from this, maybe I'd be able to, spend a little more money, get some of them scented garbage bags. But, oh, you're back.
I'm back. What did I miss anything good?
No.
Okay, cool.
It was just all a waste of my energy.
Just like that leg.
Just like the leg.
So let's continue. So some believe the creeper, the fast crawling on the walls creeper, some believe it's an otherworldly spirit or a demonic force, while others believe it's a human spirit that has been twisted by the trauma of death. Whatever it is, though, it sure seems to not like the company not like the company visitors to the hospital. What the fuck did I write there? Jesus Christ.
There it is.
They don't like the company that the hospital provides by having visitors there. So it don't like visitors. It just don't. So if you ever decided to visit Waverly Hill, it is said that you should bring a ball as well for one of the spirits within the walls named Timmy.
Ah, love that.
So it is said that Timmy died at around the age of 6 from TB, and that he is unable to move on from the hospital because he is lost. Aw, sad. This ghostly child...
I don't know this kid. I really don't give a shit if he's lost.
Have you seen my mom? I don't know you. I have to buy Slim Jims. Please leave me alone.
Technically, by the law of the state, I can't talk to you.
Don't blame me. Blame Megan's Law, okay? I'm on that website. I'm not allowed to be near this school right now, kid. But it's funny because I think I told you this story before where I was lost in Target walking around going, Mom, and I couldn't find my mom.
Year?
No. I was about the same age as Timmy, lost. And some guy literally walked by me with his wife. I'll never forget this. He walked by me with his wife, and he looked at his wife, and he went, Mom. And I was like, oh, my God.
See, that was me in the future. That's me when I got my time machine, just so I could stalk you and wait for a moment like that so I could laugh at you.
I thought I smelled something funny when the guy walked by. So, like I said, this ghostly child is said to roam the halls of the hospital looking for someone to play with, and that if you bring a ball and leave it in the middle of the room, it will begin to move across the floor on its own towards the group. So, he likes to play with balls.
You don't think there's any way that this old hospital's foundation has shifted so there's a slight slope in the room, and when you first come into the doorway... you just happen to be at the lowest peak, and it knows that it's going to roll towards you. What if the whole group went on the other side of the room and they're like, oh, no, he's kicking the ball away from us. Ooh.
I don't need any deniers in my fucking hospital, okay?
I've just been looking at a lot of houses lately, and so, level floors is something it's just on the brain. I can't help it.
David walks in. He's like, wow, beautiful backyard. I love the French windows. This island in the kitchen is just beautiful. Can you give me 1 second? I need to go out to my car. Comes back with a ball, places it in the middle of the floor.
Hey, I lived in a house that had a very extreme slope. And,
my apartment right now has a slope, I think.
Yeah, my old roommate said he almost broke the door multiple times because when he would be walking down the stairs and walking towards the bathroom, he would gain too much speed and momentum.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that Jocko Flacco you're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Too fast for his own good. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, people have claimed that it stays stagnant for like a little bit, and then if you wait a couple minutes, it'll start to move. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit more convincing. But you could be right. It could be the foundation, David. I'll give you that one, okay? So, the last ghost, though, and probably my favorite, is of an elderly woman who supposedly roams the hospital moaning and bleeding from her chained hands and feet. And
I was thinking it was going to be funnier.
No. It's funny because it's sad. And though she cries for help when outsiders approach her, she runs away screaming in terror. So, I'm not even sure.
Pretty fast, huh?
I'm not even sure if that lady's a ghost, to be completely honest. But I just don't know like what her position in the hospital was originally. Was she the receptionist?
Dude, they don't say anything about her clothes.
I don't know. Hopefully she don't got none. Just chains.
Daddy like.
I love that Rihanna song. Chains and whips make me scream and run down the halls bleeding.
Team Riri over
Or
here.
they excite me too. I don't remember exactly the lyrics. I don't know, David. Do I sing them in the fucking car every time?
Yeah.
Jesus. So, to wrap this up, it's unsure if all of these ghostly claims are true or not. But in the end, it is a fact that the Waverley Hills Sanatorium did harbor a large amount of painful death and overall desperation and fear. People who walked the grounds of the dilapidated building all claimed to feel an overwhelming sense of dread and unease, almost as if someone or something is watching them. If you are brave enough, you can pay to take a tour of the grounds with a tour company lasting up to 6 hours of the tour.
Fuck that.
You know, just enough to...
Do they give you scooters or anything? You have to walk the whole time?
Oh, that leg's not going to make it, is it, David?
It's not. Are there stairs? Fuck.
There's a shaft that you can crawl up.
Just might have to.
But like I said, tour company lasting up to 6 hours, just enough time to go missing from the group, and for someone to find you hours later up on the 5th floor in room 502. I'm spooky, baby.
Is that because before we record, you said, well, at the end of my story, give me a moment. I want to do something really dramatic and cool. Was that it?
I did not say that. I said, I think I'm going to get the Oscar on this one. I'm the lady in chains, baby. And I'm horny. She must be horny, right?
I mean...
Nothing... If you're wearing chains all day...
Yeah. That's gotta do something to you.
Gets the blood flowing, I tell you.
It's going to put you in drive.
Like Jocko Flocko. Anyway, that's my story about the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. A lot of people claim it's one of the most haunted locations in the United States. But to be completely honest, I kind of wish there was more crazy people there. Just a bunch of people with TB. But that doesn't mean that there aren't ghosts who found their way into the walls. So, that's it.
Lovely. I love a good ghost story. Okay, Tobin. A few weeks ago, I talked about druids, and we had a
few weeks ago?
It's a few episodes ago, so it was a few weeks ago, right?
Oh, I guess so. I don't know. It just feels like so much longer ago.
It would have been...
Oh, dead air. I love it. I love the dead air. You guys take a moment. Just relax.
October 23rd.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. It's a few weeks, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, we talked about druids, and we had a lot of fun with their big old wicker man, where they used to, they used a 30-foot tall wicker statue to stuff to the brim with criminals and unlucky civilians and set them ablaze to please their gods.
What a way to go.
Just jammed in with people.
Oh, it must have stunk in that wicker man.
Yeah, it did. So, especially back then. So I decided to do a little research, planning to do a list of some of the brutal sacrifices once practiced. But in my research, looking for, a wide variety, I typed in just like the craziest sacrifices, stuff like that.
You
I'm on a list.
You should see the shit I write in to try to find good stories.
It's insane, the shit we Google. Well, it's like I don't think I shared on the podcast, but I was talking to you about it not too long ago. I use the app Evernote to write my stories in because it's like a cloud-based note thing, so I can access it from different computers and stuff like that. And someone hacked my Evernote in India, and the only thing on my Evernote account is my write-ups for the stories. And so I was like, this poor dude in India thought he was gonna hack in, maybe find like a page that was like passwords, and it'd be like
launch codes.
Yeah, exactly. And all he got was just pure nonsense of weird fucking shit.
Be like the cobra bit the man's penis.
He
You're
probably
like, what? What happened?
He probably turned himself in to the authorities after that.
To be completely fair, I think that happens most days in India.
Yeah, in all reality,
The cobra bites the man's penis.
sometimes the man bites the cobra penis.
Oh, I've never seen a cobra penis, but I bet it's biteable. I bet money on it.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
I gotta go find me a cobra penis spray.
So, like I said, I decided to do a little planning to do a list of, brutal sacrifices, and I came to realize pretty quickly that there was one group of people who took sacrificing to the next level. And I realized why I try to do a whole bunch of them when I could just focus on one group. And today I'm going to talk about the Aztec people's sacrifice tactics.
Ooh, okay, we've dipped a little bit into that. I think blade hands. No. We didn't.
Oh fuck! Has it finally happened? Am I gonna do a story we already did?
I mean, we'll find out when you get into the details. But I mean, hey, you guys don't remember everything we talk about, right?
Holy shit. Dude, I honestly, this is my biggest fear about doing this podcast with my fucking goldfish memory. I'm so afraid that I'm going to do a story that, A, you've already done, B, that I have already done, and I don't even realize I'm doing it again.
I mean, I think that a lot, too. I get really nervous about that most times I'm researching, so...
That's honestly the hardest thing about doing 2 topics an episode, because... we're on episode 120, so that means we've done 240 separate stories.
Yeah.
And boy, the well is getting dry.
I mean, there's stuff out there. We just have to... That's why I go for hobo history sometimes.
True.
Leave some of the heavy hitters. Because you guys have heard the heavy hitters. You don't want all... You guys don't want to know about John Wayne Gacy.
We're like D.B. Cooper.
Okay. That's Loki, baby. Loki is D.B. Cooper, if you guys haven't seen the new Loki trailer.
It's true.
But I think we've touched up on Aztecs. I mean, not like a little bit of like the sacrifices and stuff like that. But like, I mean, I don't think I've gotten into too much detail. I think I like went across the board when I talked about like executions for criminals or something like that.
Okay.
So I mean,
we'll see.
You'll bring new details even if I did cover a little bit.
I mean, maybe we'll start season 2.
I literally make up half my story anyway most of the time.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a season 2 starting next week, where we are going to go back to episode 1, and we're just going to switch. So the other person's telling the topic from the other person.
Yes.
And we will lose all of our listeners.
Yes. Oh,
and
I also.
We'll just be able to. We will be free. We'll be free
nothing
from
more
this.
freeing than going bankrupt. I tell you.
And
I have a confession. Money. Speaking of, I have a confession to make. There is no Waverley Hills Sanatorium.
I've always considered completely making something up and seeing if you would. Catch it.
You know what? Somebody sent in an email or somebody messaged me on Facebook. It was like, you should literally make up a full story and don't tell David. And I was like,
I've considered doing that since episode 1.
You fucker. No one tricks me.
Well, I have to wait at least another year to do it.
No one pulls the wool over my eyes, except for the guy who also puts me in chains. He's allowed to pull wool over my eyes.
The extra itchy wool.
Ooh, it hurts. I love pain.
So, sacrifice was a common school night activity for the Aztecs. And in the Aztecs' legend of the 5 sons, all the gods sacrificed themselves to ensure that mankind could continue to live. So basically, their gods sacrificed themselves, so that's part of the reason why they brought it upon themselves to sacrifice for them.
I'm going to be honest with you. If somebody was like, if you sacrifice yourself, all of mankind will live, I would have a serious discussion with myself about be like, do we know this guy's telling the truth? Like, I'm not selfless enough to save all of mankind just based off of one guy being like, this is what will happen. I'll be like, well, I'll, like, stay alive until, like, possibly I see, like, the sun colliding with the earth, and then maybe I'll kill myself. And maybe that'll stop the sun.
Yeah, you're going to be too late at that point.
Yeah. Maybe the sun will stop and everybody will get real tan.
Well, I mean, if it gets that close, we're all melted anyway. It doesn't matter.
If it gets, like, 1 millimeter closer, we're all dead.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what it is now.
Hit me with the sun flare, baby.
So, and when the Spanish conquest of Mexico confronted the Aztec people, telling them to stop their devotion to their gods or face death, the priest denied the request by saying, "Life is because of the gods. With their sacrifice, they gave us life. Excuse me. They produce our sustenance, which nourishes life."
Wow. No, I mean, honestly, I'm not very religious, but like, if somebody was like, "Hey, you better disown your God," I'd be like, you know what? He's got more. You're gonna have to talk to my manager on this one. I'm gonna be frank with you, Frank.
Tell Frank to go fuck. So
here, go up to the top of that pyramid, Frank. There's a hot lady up there. Why don't you go lay down and wait for her to come? I mean, not like that.
So this is referring their central Mesoamerican belief that a great continuing sacrifice of the gods continues to make the universe live. So human sacrifice was, in a sense, the highest level of offering to keep the gods happy and continue to keep mankind alive. With this practice being so important, they even built massive stages for the sacrifices, which were like huge pyramid-like structures, and they were filled with the area's finest art, treasure, and some corpses from the sacrificed.
That's where I told Frank to go up to. Go check it out. There's a hot lady up there.
Exactly.
Not a knife that'll go into your chest. I tell you.
No.
But David, I'm a little aware of this because of
your school mascot.
Our school mascot that will probably change in the next couple of years because it's probably going to be pretty offensive or something. But I have much respect for the Aztecs, even though it is our mascot technically. I don't agree with the man running around our football game dressed as one, but
I feel like that's really where it crosses the line. Is any school that has like an actual human being the mascot and they're not in some like in what do you call that caricature brought to life.
I agree. It's like a little bit like, I mean, especially if the guy's like not that fit, because they got this like fucking like kind of like he thinks he's fit, but he's just kind of old and he's running around.
I'm pretty sure what you're thinking of. If I remember correctly, at one point they like brought back a guy that was the Aztec from like 20 years ago, and he did it for a game.
Oh, okay, that might have been him then.
So I think usually the guy's pretty like,
well, if they get an actual
pretty good looking.
Well, I was about to say, if they get an actual Aztec to like be the guide, then I don't see no harm, no foul. You know, like
just
that's
bring
cool.
an indigenous man in who doesn't understand our technology, doesn't understand our sports.
Do you know what football is? No.
Kills 30 people.
He runs on the field, and he just took the heart out of the quarterback. He's like, I'm the leader now. God, good.
He gets right behind the center, ready to take a snap.
You ever snapped a heart? Nothing like it.
So humans weren't the only things sacrificed in their culture. The Aztecs would also breed dogs, eagles, jaguars, and deer for the sole purpose of being sacrificed to the gods.
Oh, I would pay front row tickets to watch them try to sacrifice a jaguar.
Dude, those things are gnarly.
Like dog, like, okay, eagle, I could even get it. Like somebody grabs an eagle by the feathers, it ain't going anywhere. Jaguar, good luck, guys.
Yeah, I was in Tulum like 2 years ago. 2 years ago? 1 year ago? I don't know. Time flies. And I remember like seeing signs of like warning jaguar in the area and being shit. Fuck that.
Like, I think a jaguar is probably like a much greater sacrifice than a human, because a human will lay down and they're like willing to do it. A jaguar,
they want to do it.
You got to earn that.
Yeah, you got to fight for that. Holy shit.
The gods are like, yo, that was pretty sick. You got me a jaguar. Respect. That guy lost a fucking eye. That's crazy.
What guy?
The guy
that did
the guy that pinned the jaguar down. I don't know.
More than that.
Yeah.
So self-sacrifices were also a big deal in their culture, where people would offer bloody thorns from the maguey plants, which if you saw it, you would know it. They're all over California, I'm pretty sure. It's kind of like it's like if you shot a succulent with a grow gun. They're like giant succulents.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Kinda
Do they have aloe in them?
They look like aloe plants, but I don't think they do.
They're just like, oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. You see a lot of them in San Diego, yeah.
Yeah.
My friend almost sliced his ear off with one of those.
I don't doubt it.
Bachelor party.
They're like little saws.
We super glued it together. His ear, I mean, not the plant.
Yeah.
It was fun. Good party.
So, the usual spot of interest was to cut themselves with... The usual spot of interest where to cut themselves with the thorns were on the tongue, the earlobes, and their damned genitals. Yeah, ouch.
Wait, are you serious? They cut themselves in their earlobe? Literally, my friend walked into a plant drunkenly by accident, and he literally almost sliced his earlobe off a week before his wedding.
Has he, like, weirdly been, like, cutting people's hearts out?
He has, but that was before he cut his earlobe.
Oh.
But his penis is also horribly disfigured, too. I saw it. He cut that shit up, too.
Just absolutely
Sorry, Zach.
mashed.
Sorry, Zach.
So this idea comes from one of their oldest creation myths where the god... Oh, fuck.
Here we go. Hey,
Quetzalcoatl.
Are you guys ready to cancel him? Oh, wait, who is it?
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
Because it would start with the Q, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, sure.
Well, they named all of the buildings after the Aztec gods on our campus. So
shit, okay. I was wondering why you would know that.
Why I knew it so well?
Yeah, why you're like, oh, you mean this? Fuck you, man. And that was the god of morning and evening star, which I'm pretty sure. No, I don't know. And so he offered blood extracted from a wound on his own genitals to give life to humanity.
Was that wound just like already there, like no, the wounds?
I don't know.
Love wounds?
Could have been love wounds. Love wounds cry deep. Love wounds cry red tear.
Don't get your love wound next to me. Love wounds spread like TB.
Always inspect lovers for love wound.
This is so offensive.
Is it?
The voice we're doing.
Oh, I was doing the caveman.
No, we're doing like a Native American guy.
Oh no, I was doing the caveman. Fire hurt, David.
Oh, okay. Love wound.
Now you're doing it intentionally, so now it is offensive. That's not okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You really don't. This is just one of the many stories of their gods offering their own blood to help the human race. So the human sacrifice rituals were performed at the appropriate time each month with exact number of living bodies. And other goods. So like they were very picky about how they did the sacrifices. Like things had to be exact.
Like as far as like the sun in the sky, or like the people they chose.
I don't think it had so much to do about the people themselves, but more of like the numbers. Like there had to be exactly this many people. Like you had to have like these tools prepped a certain way.
Oh wow. They had to be kosher tools, basically.
Sure. And these individuals were previously chosen to be sacrificed, so it wasn't at random. They didn't just like grab someone like you're getting sacrificed. Like it was all planned.
A lot of them weren't they like volunteers?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would hate to try to get the guy who wasn't a volunteer to sacrifice himself.
Yeah. So the individuals were previously chosen to die, as was the case for anybody embodying the gods themselves. So I think sometimes during the sacrifices, there'd be a person there that would embody the god and like kind of like run it in a way, or like just overview it.
Was he usually like a chieftain or just like a random guy that they chose to embody the gods?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff that didn't necessarily get translated
exactly.
or like written down. It was like we just had a guy.
Yeah. So even the enemies of the Aztecs understood their roles as sacrifices to the gods, since many had come from other civilizations that practiced similar rituals for their own gods, or even the same gods. Yeah. So for many rites, the victims were expected to bless children, greet and cheer others getting sacrificed, hear people's petitions to the gods, visit people in their homes, and give discourse and lead sacred songs and dances.
Whoa! So these people
like
who are about to get, I was about to say, these people who had to get sacrificed had to do like a presidential campaign run to like get killed.
Basically,
I mean, you were kind of a celebrity in a weird way, so it
was a great honor.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're the shit. Like, yeah, I'm literally being sacrificed for the gods, but at the same time, it's like. I always talk about this. We're like certain cultures or certain, like even today, they conceptualize death differently than we do. Like somebody who lives in a third world country deals with death way differently than like Americans deal with death. You know, like, or just even people who live on like, I know I think I brought this up, but like the south side of Chicago had like a really high murder rate for a while. And people there, I watched a documentary and they're like, death is just like a part, like I lost my cousin, I lost my brother. And it's like, they move on and they like, it's dramatic and it affects them, but not as much as somebody who lives in an area who might not deal with death as much, you know?
Well, it's like, that's one of the reasons why the Vikings were so feared is because in their culture, it was like death was like
Valhalla,
getting to Valhalla was like, fuck yeah, like why would I want to be on the plane of Earth if I could be in Valhalla and I gotta die a meaningful death? So like they fought without fear of dying.
Yeah, I think dying in battle was the like the one-way ticket to Valhalla. Like that is how you got in there. And it's like, yeah, exactly, those people were ready to die, you know?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So most sacrificial rituals took more than 2 people to perform. And the usual procedure would be that the sacrifice would be taken to the top of a temple, then laid down on a stone slab called the chakmul, and their abdomen would be sliced open by a priest with a ceremonial blade made of flint.
Oh.
So you said chest earlier. Typically, it was the belly.
Oof.
So the most common form of human sacrifice was the good old heart extraction, aka my Valentine's Day.
Wait, they go through the belly though?
Yeah.
So like, because you got to go underneath the ribs. Oh, owie.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like the guy being like, I'm gonna find it eventually.
yeah, there it is. No, fuck, that's a long.
What we got in here? What was that? Oh.
Oh, I'm actually doing a blood eagle. God damn it.
God.
Hold on. Do you know what a blood eagle is? Speaking of Vikings,
I think we discussed it on this podcast. Didn't they like flay somebody's back open and like string them up or something like that?
So I mean, we're talking about sacrifices, so I feel like it fits.
You're allowed to jump over a little bit.
So it was when they would cut the skin off your back and then pull it outwards.
Yeah,
revealing
wings,
your
right?
bones, and they would take an axe and chip away the back of your ribs. And well, so if you were a Viking, and I mean, this is going off of what I've seen on television. I haven't read on it. I don't know if it's true, but I've seen it in television and in video games, being Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So like they said the same fucking thing. So I'm assuming it's true. And so the idea, if you were a part of like the whole Viking world, you're supposed to take the punishment, and if as long as you don't make a sound, you go to Valhalla. As long as you don't like cry out in pain, you make it to Valhalla. And so they chop away all the back of your ribs.
I'm just saying right now I'd be like, big girls don't cry. I'd just be like, they'd be hacking at my back. I'd be like screaming like a Jersey boy, I tell you.
So I haven't gotten to the worst part. So they break away the back of your ribs, and then they pull your lungs out of your body while you're still supposed to be alive. And you drape the lungs over the tops of your shoulder like wings. and then they string you up by your wrists. So that's a blood eagle.
People always talk about the perks of being a Viking, but never the blood eagle.
I don't think the blood eagle is very common. I think that was like the most extreme of extremes.
What do you have to do? Eat the last meatball at dinner to get that? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
You gotta drink the last cup of mead?
You're really gonna allow me to poke my toothpick in the barbecue sauce for this long without finding a meatball before you tell me that you got the last one? I've been in the crock pot wrist deep for fucking 4 minutes, and you're not gonna tell me that there's no meatballs in here? I hate that.
So, back to what I was saying. The Aztecs believe that the heart, which was also known as the tona, was both the seat of the individual and the fragment of the sun's heat. Don't know what that means.
I don't know literally what you just said.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds nice though.
So the cut was made in the abdomen and went through the diaphragm. The priest would grab the heart, then place the heart in a bowl held by a statue of the honored god. Then in full respect of the one that was sacrificed, the priest would straight up yeet the dead body down the fucking temple stairs.
Oh,
which is a deep path. I don't know. When I was in Tulum,
be looking like a slinky.
When I was in Tulum, I hiked up one of the old temple things, and they are fucking tall and steep.
Well, let's not kid ourselves. He probably didn't make it all the way down the stairs. They probably had some people position on the stairs, give him a little nudge and to keep going, you know.
They are so steep, there's no doubt in my mind they made it all the way down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm also picturing the guy who got the heart out through the diaphragm. Is that kind of like when you're trying to plug something in behind like your TV console?
Oh yeah.
Where you're just kind of looking back and like you're just kind of like looking away, but you're like it's mostly just like feel at that point. You're like, where is this thing?
I was doing that once. I think it was in one of the places I lived in college.
And I found a heart back there.
Well, I was trying to jam the phone charger back there or something, and finally got to stick. You know, plug my phone in, and it's not charging. I'm like, God damn it. And so I moved my bed, and I straight up jammed the phone charger into the wall.
wait. You pressed it through like...
Just like the drywall.
You're better off just shoving it into a potato in a pool of Sprite.
Cranberry Sprite?
Cranberry Sprite brought to you by LeBron James. I literally got a Cranberry Sprite ad today.
Just pay for Spotify.
I don't. I do pay for Spotify. I was on YouTube.
So yeah, they would yeet the body down the fucking stairs, which was a deep path, and the body would land on a terrace at the base of the pyramid called the Aptilati.
They didn't name a lot of buildings after the sacrificial parts of the Aztec culture.
Really? not in like the athletic building.
You know what?
The weight room.
As most of you may be surprised, I am not an athlete, so I wasn't aware of those buildings.
Oh man. So the little jack-o'-lantern boy at the top wasn't the only blood shed in the ritual. Before and during the killing, priest and the audience gathered at the plaza below, and they would stab themselves to bleed for auto-sacrifice. Kind of like I was talking about earlier.
Stab themselves or just like cut their hand? Come on, you got to cut your hand. That's in every movie. You don't want to just like go for the gut.
They weren't lethally like cutting themselves.
I know, but like you want to go with the palm, right? You don't want to like stab yourself in like any vital organs. That's why they always cut the hand, right, to get that blood.
Well, I mean, it might have been tongue, earlobes, and dongs, man.
You're right. They bleed all right.
So after the death and stair yeet, the body parts would be properly disposed of. The viscera would be fed to the animals. And
What's that?
No, viscera. Sorry, viscera. You know what viscera is?
Kind of.
Viscera is basically like your intestines and like your liver, and it's like all of your like gut organs.
Oh, okay. So it's like a lot of striation. It's like a little. I'm just saying words that are
You really are.
with anatomy.
What are you doing over there?
Oh, the fucking cat was trying to get a toy, and I had to help it. Sorry.
Cats. It's goddamn
Sorry.
cats.
I know.
Fucking cats.
The things I do for these cats.
You're lucky I can't come over there to record anymore. You wouldn't have any more cats. So, yeah, the viscera would be...
The viscera, the guts.
Yeah, it'd be fed to the animals.
Guts. There you go.
And the bleeding head was placed on display for all the kids to throw rotten fruit and vegetables at.
We talking about whole cantaloupes? What are we talking here, baby?
I'm talking about a joke. I was kidding.
Yeah, I thought you were serious.
No, it was put on display on the Zoom Pante, aka, the old skull rack.
Oh shit! Skull Rack is such a good name for a metal band.
It really is.
Holy fuck! Skull Rack.
Yeah, but the filthy animals weren't the only ones who ate the body parts. The warrior who captured the individual, of course if it was an enemy in battle, would be given the meaty limbs and flesh and the stomach. Oh no, they'd be given the meaty limbs and the flesh, stomach, and chest were offered to the gods. Now I'm curious, what does that mean by the chest? How do you offer a chest? Is it just you chop it off like... below the neck but like above the belly?
Well, the head's gone. It's on the skull rack.
Arms are gone.
Well, I think you glazed over a really big part. Is that like, did you just say that the arms and the legs were offered to the warrior that killed the man?
Captured him. Brought him
Captured him? So we're treating this human like a fucking crab at this point, right?
I mean, this is just a meat market, really.
Because, like, you don't eat the body of the crab as much as you eat the legs and the arms of the crab. So, like, right?
Well, I personally do not eat crab.
Oh, you just have them.
Well, I did.
Wait, what?
My freshman year in college, when I lived in the dorms,
Wait.
I had a pet crab. He was a fiddler crab.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
His name was Kratos. And,
you talked about him. He died, right?
Yeah, he died. But I bought him a female because I wanted to breed them and give my entire dorm floor crabs. And the second I put the female in, he was a fiddler crab. So he's got the one little pincher and the one big old pincher.
And the crusher.
Yeah, the crusher. And
they call it on lobsters.
Well, living up to his name, Kratos, the god of war, he
killed his wife.
He grabbed his wife and just fucking snapped her in half as soon as I put her in his little tank.
No.
So that dream died very quickly.
Put that crab down.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Kratos.
But like I was saying, people are eating these?
Yeah, they eaten.
Cannibalism was
it's the first chilies.
Much
Aztec chilies.
You know when someone brings up the fajitas and you're like, "Ooh, I wish I got that."
You hear that plate come through that that double door.
That leg sizzling on that hot pan. You're like, "Ooh, I should have got that." But the problem is, all the legs we eat in America are wrapped in trash bags like your fucking leg. You stinky son of a bitch.
So
offer the chest.
So the Aztec culture, in the Aztec culture, it was well known that each god would have a different style of sacrifice protocol. So I'm going to go over them. That was kind of my whole thing, is go over the gods' different sacrifices. So we will start with Yao. This one's gonna be hard. Yeah, Yao Ming. To sacrifice, you have to do a big ol' slam dunk.
You gotta stretch them out real long. real long.
Until he gets a triple-double. You keep stretching him until he gets a triple-double. So the god Huit Zilo Pach Tzlili. Let's call him Harry. That's not offensive to rename gods, is it?
Nope.
Oh, well.
Good.
So Harry was the god who represented the sun and warfare, who would burn down towns and carried a fire-breathing serpent. When the Aztecs sacrificed people to Harry, the victim would be placed on the stone, and the priest would cut them through the abdomen with an obsidian or flint blade. The heart would be torn out, still beating. If it wasn't beating, they'd have to pull another person out. They'd do it until it was beating.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
Are you serious?
I don't know. I added that part in.
Oh, I was going to say, man, you're ripping a heart out. It's not going to beat for that long. You better pay attention.
But no, it did say still beating and held towards the sky in honor to the sun god. Then again, the body would, be yeeted down the pyramid.
Yeet?
But this is slightly different because I guess on different angles they had different things at the bottom, so they had to throw them down the right side. And this one would be where the Koi Oli Ox Hoiki stone was, which the stone had images on it that recreated the story of Harry's sister, who was dismembered at the base of a mountain, just as the victim was.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So when he got down there, they started cutting.
Oh, yeah. The body was then carried away to either be cremated or given to the warrior responsible for the capture, if they were captured. He would either cut the body into pieces and send them to important people as offerings, or use the pieces for ritual cannibalism.
Oof.
Next god.
I heard people don't smell that great when they cannibalize.
Really?
No,
they get the meat sweats?
Yeah, basically.
Huh.
Like you're not supposed to eat human meat, because when you eat human meat, you apparently, like, through your pores, you start smelling like death. A certain smell, or like a certain awful like odor.
That's just society trying to tell you not to be who you want to be.
Oh, you don't like my tattoos? Oh, I can't get a job because I have tattoos. You stink like human meat. Fuck you.
You smell like dick, and I don't mean like dick. You smell like you ate someone's dick.
You ate someone's love bumpy dick.
You cooked it with onions, and you put mustard on it, and you slapped it in a bun. We can smell that on you.
Sandwich. That's a sandwich.
So next god, Tezcatlipoca. I'm gonna call him Terry.
Damn, why does that guy sound like a jazz musician?
Tezcatlipoca.
Oh, what's up? I got my brother up here, Tezcatlipoca, to play the smooth sax for y'all tonight. I love your saxophone.
That was a really bad saxophone. That sounded like a siren.
It's very broken.
What's the best jazz you can make? The jazz you make with a broken instrument.
You need a new reed in that bitch.
So, like I was saying, I'm going to call him Terry.
Reed.
I'll wet something. So, like I was saying, I'm going to call him Terry. Terry was generally considered the most powerful god, the god of night, sorcery, and destiny, and the god of the north.
I love all of those.
Good. The Aztecs believed that Terry created war to provide food and drink to the gods.
Okay, I don't necessarily agree with that. He's like, why'd you create war? He's like, for food. You're like, that's not how that works, man.
Well, they fed off death.
Yeah, you could. Well, they did eat captured warriors. So, point counterpoint.
Yeah. So some captives were sacrificed to Terry in a ritual gladiatorial combat. The victim was tethered in place, so they were stuck to one spot, and given a fake weapon to ensure he would die in fight.
Sounds like a battle already. Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty weak, fight. Honestly. It's kind of fucked up.
Let me tie you to a tether, and then here's a big old dildo, and this guy's got a sword. It's like, Jesus.
So next god, Sayok Ali. But we'll call this rascal Samuel.
Sammy.
Samuel was the god of fire and heat. So to honor him, the Aztecs had a ceremony where they prepared a large feast, and at the end of which they would burn up some captives. Before they died, they would be taken from the fire and their hearts would be cut out. Fun stuff.
Well, at least they did it after they were dead.
No, I think they said before they died from the fire, they'd be taken out, then their hearts would be cut out. So honestly, no, that sounds 10 times worse.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Very cool. So Samuel was also worshipped during the New Fire ceremony, which went down every 52 years and prevented the world from ending. During the festival, priests would hike to the top of a volcano, and then again rip out their hearts, and a fire would be lit inside of the hole that was made to remove the heart.
Whoa! They had a human fire?
Yeah, and then the flame would be used to light all of the ceremonial fires in various temples. So
whoa, that's pretty sick, actually.
Pretty gnarly. I can't imagine it'd be easy to start a fire inside someone's big old wet chest cavity.
Yeah. Also, can you just imagine jumping into a volcano?
Well, they didn't jump into a volcano.
No, separate discussion. I just thought about going
like
to the top
Gollum?
of a volcano.
Talking about Gollum?
I'm talking about Gollum, all right. Just like imagine how hot that is. I heard shit catches on fire near lava. It's not even touching the lava.
Oh, yeah, you can just get shit close to it.
God damn, that would suck to fall in lava. I can't even imagine a worse death.
Lava is one of those things that when I was a child, I thought it was going to be a bigger deal in my adult life. Like, I was going to have to worry about
like
lava.
Quicksand, yeah.
I mean, Mount St. Helens could erupt, I guess.
That's not lava coming out of there.
I think so.
No, you got pyroclastic flow. You have a lot to learn, buddy.
I guess.
I took a natural disasters class in college. Come at me.
Why?
Because they gave me credit
Electives?
for it. I don't know. It was great. It was really fun, actually.
Yeah, I took some bad fucking classes.
Don't live in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has the most hail and tornadoes. Just so you know. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
So the next god is Tlaloc, it's pretty easy to say. But let's call him Thomas. Thomas was the god of rain, water, and earthly fertility. The Aztecs thought that the Aztecs thought if they did not provide Thomas with sacrifices, it would stop raining and their crops would die and then they would starve. They also believed that he kept various illnesses from spreading in their communities. I don't know what that connection is. Maybe it's some, super deep lore where he prevented illnesses to spread or something, but that was another reason why they killed people for him. So what happened during the rituals for Thomas are fairly unknown, aside from the fact that at least 42 children bodies were found from being sacrificed to him, and all had suffered brutal deaths, which didn't go into detail.
They like to glaze over the child deaths.
Yeah.
I get it.
So aside from the fact that they said that they believe Thomas loved the sound of a crying child, so I believe it was a slow, painful, agonizing death. Not fun.
That guy maybe shouldn't be a god.
No, probably not.
They're like, God Thomas? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he loves children screaming. You're like...
Did you say Rob Thomas?
I did not say Rob Thomas. Just like the ocean under the moon. I like the child screaming and it feels so good. That's it.
That's all you needed. Honest, that's more than we deserve.
Thank you.
So the last god, Sipe Totec, and we'll call him Big Tony.
He's Big Tony.
Hey guys, it's a Big Tony.
Salam.
Big Tony was known as our Lord, the Flayed One. I don't know. Who was the god of rebirth, agriculture, the seasons, and craftsmen. I don't know why there's a god for craftsmen, but that's a thing. sacrifice victims for Big Tony were picked, and then for 40 days, the victims were forced to dress and live like a Big Tony. And then after 40 days, they would be taken to Big Tony's temple, where their hearts would be removed, their bodies dismembered, and the body parts divided up to be eaten. Prior to death and dismemberment, the victim's skin would be removed and worn by individuals who traveled for battle. So they skin them alive for a Big Tony and let warriors wear their skin.
Oh, my suit's so stinky.
You just got stinkied.
I got. Oh, dog! Look at Eric over there wearing his stinky suit. He's wearing the Big Tony stinky suit. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Ah, gabagool.
Have we crossed the line yet?
We're far across the line. I haven't seen the line in many months.
Many moons. So there were some reports that at the Great Pyramid of this is a hard one. Tenochtitlan. Do you know that one?
No, I don't know that one.
In 1487, the Aztecs sacrificed about 80,400 prisoners.
No.
Over the course of, you want to guess what the time span was for 80,400 people?
I want to guess a big number, but I'm going to go for 10 years.
4 days.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Which, quick math, that would be 2,100 people a day.
What is this? Wilt Chamberlain claiming how many women he had sex with? Jesus Christ!
It actually is. Wilt Chamberlain did this book report in the 2nd grade, which would also be 837 and a half in an hour, which comes down to 14 people sacrificed in a minute for 4 days straight.
Dude, I don't believe that.
I mean, they had to have had separate stations. They couldn't have just done it in one spot.
Yeah, I guess that's definitely a possibility. I was gonna say, because there's no way. It takes 14 minutes just to climb those stairs.
Well, I mean, you line them up correctly. You've got all right. You've got 7 stations. That's 2 kills in a minute. Kill someone every 30 seconds. That's more than enough to say, to whatever God, we love you, slice.
Jeez, those guys must have been so tired, and those prisoners must have been like, you know what? This isn't even worth it.
The guy's halfway up the stairs. Can I just fucking jump? Can I just jump? Can I count that?
Yeah, you guys aren't even going to remember my name. Like, you guys are just going to cut me open?
You guys don't even know my name.
You guys, do you even know my name? I'm out of here.
That's the problem today.
That's the problem with you sacrificial warlords who are going to eat my limbs. You guys don't even get to know me before you eat my limbs.
So this reaches the end of my story. I'm sure there were plenty of good Aztec sacrifices I missed, but we're running low on time, obviously. This episode is really fucking long.
It is a long one.
And, we can always check those out later. So at the end of my story, I guess the thing to take away from it is, if you ever get a time machine, stay the fuck away from the Aztecs. Unless you're looking for the worst heart surgery you can find.
Ooh, it's true. Or the best heart surgery you could find, because they always find the heart.
I know you're a huge Office fan. Greatest quote ever is the guy that works in the warehouse, the heart surgeon.
Yeah. Oh man, what's his name? Now it's throwing me off. Oh, I can hear the cat playing with its ball over there too. Anyway, I forget, but yeah, that guy's great. He's like, steady hand, Yakuza boss. Like, oh, he's great. God, it's gonna make me so mad.
That is like literally the only line he has in the entire series, and it's like one of the funniest moments.
Dude, they put him in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they like put him in there. He's like, I killed Yakuza boss on purpose. And you're like, oh shit, this is great. I love that dude.
He also,
Anyway.
that actor had like heart surgery not that long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
He's good now. He made a Twitter post about it and like basically like made a joke off of that whole segment.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
He has Twitter. That's amazing.
I think that's what. I mean, who doesn't, right?
If you're relevant, I don't. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to another long episode of Camp Strange. We love it when you do, and we love telling you these stories. So if you guys want any more information, you can just go to our Instagram at Camp Strange Podcast and find all of our hyperlinks in the description, in the Linktree description. That's where we have our merch, and that's where you can find different places to listen to our podcast. And if you happen to go to Apple Podcast, please rate, review, and subscribe. Share it with a friend. Tell a friend about it. Tell them that you listen to us. They might be like, why do you listen to those guys? But just tell them you do. Tell them because we're sometimes okay. If you guys want to send us anything, you can send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. That would be great. And what else do we have to talk about? If you guys want merch, it's also in the Linktree and Instagram. Just do that, you know. And David, do you have anything else to say before we get the heck out of here and let these people live their lives for once?
So it turns out at the end of Planet of the Apes, you see the Statue of Liberty halfway in the water, which makes our guy realize that he wasn't on a distant planet. He was actually on Earth the whole time, but now it was ran by the monkeys. That's a spoiler for you.
There you go. You guys heard it here first from that 1970s movie that you probably already know about. Anyway, also, don't forget to stay strange.